Sometimes you just have to have it, regardless of the consequences. You know what I mean. You won't take no for an answer. And there's definitely no substitutions. Know the feeling? Then join me for Must Possess for Less. And I'll make sure you get everything you want at prices guaranteed to blow you away. Go on, scratch that itch. You know you want it. Watch Must Possess for Less, only on WSS, your shopping source.
Is it time for a new watch? If you're looking for a beautiful timepiece for yourself or to give as a gift for that special someone, then ShopPingSource.com is for you. At ShopPingSource.com, you'll find great prices on brands you know and trust. Brands from the world's most respected manufacturers, including Oceanaut, August Steiner, Gevril, Jean Marcel, Del Mar, Lancaster, Catamaran, Mount Royal, Naked, and many more. Before you buy, we offer a ton of information specifically about watches via our WSS University series. You can take classes to learn the basics about watches and graduate with a degree in smart shopping. There's a wide variety of models for men and women in cutting-edge and traditional designs to fit any occasion and any budget. Our website is safe, secure, and easy to use. So when you think watches, think ShopPingSource.com.
Hey everybody, welcome. You know, I just had the orchestra cut off really sharp there, like they planned it. Let's start again. Welcome to the Worldwide Shopping Source. My name is Tim. Tonight we have the grand finale. This is going to be great. We have the president of Stuhrling joining us here in the studio, and of course we'll be proceeding with that here live in just a couple of moments. First, some lovely announcements. Let's look ahead to this coming weekend. This is big doings. But I was working on the newsletter just today. This is actually shopping television history, and I love talking about this because it's never, ever happened where we have gotten the president of a major watch company. This is a company you can see. You go to Tourneau Time Machine in New York, you can see them. You go to the one in Vegas, you can go to many luxury, just the premier brands in the world. We have the CEO and president of Gevril joining us, Samuel Friedman. He'll be here live next week, along with Vice President Stephen J. And of course, it's the big holiday festivities, call it what you will, from Gevril. So we're going to have special pricing and product. This is going to be great. Yes, there are the safety orange ones. I confirmed that today with Topman. So we'll have, I'm not saying a ton of them, but we will have some of the safety orange ones available. It is this coming Sunday, the 18th. It is 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 Central, and you will be very glad you tuned in. That's going to be cool. We're going to do an interview and all sorts of great stuff with him. Also, looking ahead, I've got to mention, if you haven't yet signed up for the liquidation from Jean Marcel, this is not the one that I've talked about over the last 2 months, by the way. This one is brand new. We're talking about at least one ladies' watch, and Jean Marcel makes very few women's watches. We have one of those. There's a little 4 or 5 watches. I strongly encourage you to send an email. You want to send it to the following. You want to send it to host, that's plural, H-O-S-T-S, hosts at shoppingsource.com. And the title line, just write Jean Marcel 3 or something like that. And we'll take it from there, because those things are going to be hitting pretty much any day now. And then they're just going to be here and they're going to be gone. And if you've seen the previous offers that we've had from this company, you know what I'm talking about. And okay, I think we have now time for a lovely preview. Now, what we're going to show you is about 4 or 5 different items here. Most of them, and not all of them, will be watches. 2 of them are actually going to be a box. Now, this one, this is very, very cool. It is also about 90-something% sold out. In fact, I'll tell you right now, barring an update I'm unaware of, black, gone, yellow gold, gone. The good news, though, is I have, and I think there are, in fact, less than, I was going to say less than 20. I think there's probably less than 15 of them, but we have layered in rose gold, which historically is the single hottest seller of the series. We have it at $199. This is the giant one. This is the one, frankly, I've been wearing on the air on and off for maybe a couple of months or so. Mine wasn't the rose gold one, and frankly, it might have been except rose gold wasn't available when I got mine. We only had the yellow or the black. But the rose is currently available to a handful of colors. It's $2,985. Now, this one, first of all, I'll tell you guys right out of the gate, and some of you already know this, we only had 5 or 6 of each of these. And then we sold completely out of the one with the rose gold, and then we all but sold out of the one in the blue. So here's the deal. We had top men talking to other top men, and the long and short of it is we are having expressed to us additional tourbillons. I have 1 in the blue. I have 2 in the rose, and that's it. Now, it's my understanding that was all, in fact, they pretty much had to divert tourbillons from another project even to fulfill this. So please take advantage. This is the lowest price on a brand new in the box Stuhrling tourbillon in history. And I should know because I did a lot of them. In fact, I did the show when George A. von Berg actually flew to the United States and hand-delivered the first one, and that went for $18,000 and $12,000, depending on the case that you wanted. And then later they released a less expensive series that went for $5,000. This particular one has gone for as much to the public as $4,500. This is a record low price, and I'm being very serious about these quantities. I've got 1 in the blue hands and the numbers, just call it blue. And then if you want the one with the rose gold, I've got 2 of them, and that's it. And then we're completely sold out, period. Are we going to get more? Maybe. In time for Christmas? Absolutely not. Hanukkah? Absolutely not. This is it. If you're interested, I strongly encourage you to reserve one tonight. It's under 2990. That's the item number. All right, moving on. All right, we're going old school. This one is almost $1,500. It was one of the first Stuhrlings ever released. This is actually brand new in the box, but it is, I got to tell you, in all candor right now, I don't think there's any more than a dozen of this. It's silver only. This has not been built for the better part of 2 years. 44 millimeter case. And way back in the day, Stuhrling did a lot of things, almost everything, in sapphire. And this is sapphire crystal, both front and back, mechanical automatic with a power reserve and a quick set date and a sweep second and a Greenwich Mean Time dial. And it is very, very cool. This is not pre-owned. This is brand new in the box. Sometimes it does matter who you know. You know, we had a guy at Stuhrling got us this. So there you go. $1,500 to $349. Handful of callers, and then it's gone. And by the way, when this is gone, there are no more. Same thing here. At one point yesterday, I thought this had actually sold out completely. And it turns out I can take no more than 5 or 6 calls. This is a massive watch. Now, I know you look at that and you go, well, I kind of see a reverso influence, or I kind of, see some of the historical, really popular, very high-end watches. Okay. But this is like that, but on steroids. This is a huge watch. And it's on this very cool rubber strap, open heart complication. There's a big day complication at the 12, a true sweep. It is exhibition back. It's also over $1,000. This also has a massive sapphire crystal. It's just huge. And in fact, front and back, they're both sapphire. So what, $1,100, $1,060, $299, no more than 5 or 6 callers. Here's another one. When it's gone for good. There are no more. We took all of them. And if they could have given me 100, I'd have took it. Well, they didn't have them. I mean, we had 20 of this and 30 of this and whatever. All right, now, watch boxes very quickly. This is the new darling of the industry. This is actually making waves, and I think there's been wringing of hands and talk of assorted grieving among competition, which we're fine with. This is the giant one. This is 24 very large slots. Many of the watches you see in this demo shot are 42 millimeter, and as you can see, it just dwarfs them. This is a very big box, 24 compartments, 2 ring roll sections with a drawer. Guys, check this out for $43. If it is not everything I tell you, I want you to send it back. I want you to be happy with absolutely everything you buy here always. Believe me, you will keep this. If you want one of the most impressive holiday gifts, be it Hanukkah, Christmas, whatever, to anyone that collects watches, they're going to love you for this thing. Under $130. in my opinion, I think it's the best buy pound for pound in a watch box that I've ever seen. $43, guys, check it out, $2954. I've also got it in a smaller version, $2955. It's identical in every way except it's smaller. This holds 12 watches. Actually, more accurately, this holds 11 watches. The 12th compartment is actually a ring roll section. And they both have exhibition tops. The Acorn is the lighter finish and Cherry is the darker. And this one's under $80. You can check it out for $39.99. Again, with interest-free payments, $2955 if you want to grab that. And let's get underway because we have much to discuss. This is Larry right over here. He is the president of Stuhrling, and he is in the house breaking it down old school. So let's welcome again Larry for joining us. Huge weekend.
It's been great.
And the tourbillon, of course, has been the story.
The tourbillon's
I think deservedly.
Tourbillon's been a big story, but so has the Basilica. So has there was another piece we came near selling out on. Now it's escaping me right now. In fact, it was something in tonight's show.
Well, the 44.
Oh no, the Alpine. The Alpine.
Sure.
The bubble watch. We only have one execution left on that. That was a major hit this weekend. But I'm excited for tonight. We got some great things here tonight. We have one watch we've reserved that hasn't been seen yet on the air here at WSS. That's the Executive, and that's coming up. We said we had to save one piece for Monday night. And so we have something new you haven't seen yet. Okay, I got to interject on this very quickly. We are now confirming that the blue is sold out. The blue one is gone. Now, over the weekend, the one treated in rose gold sold out, and I can take no more than 2 calls on the one in rose gold. And we will be presenting that, and I'm ballparking this, I'm assuming roughly in 20 minutes or so. This is 2990. These are, just for the record, true mechanical handmade tourbillons. Those aren't just, open hearts and whatever. And we'll get into what a tourbillon is a little bit later on. All right, let's talk about this Basilica business. Sure. As we are fond of saying around here lately, price on this is absurd with a capital A. And this is absurd. This is, first of all, very quickly to set this up, this really was supposed to go on the show at $199, as I've talked about many times. This is not the network you want to watch if you want to see a watch marked down 70-80% in another 90 days. We don't do that. In fact, if anything, I'm very proud to say that many of the watches we presented over the last year have actually increased with the market value. Anyway. This one was supposed to go out at $199. Basically, there's a meeting of top men. Okay, all these are gone. I know we only had 6 of them, but they are gone. We will never, barring just some kind of a freak I'm not aware of, ever have that again. All right, so there's 2 sellouts in the preview. Let's move ahead. All right, so the point is, this was supposed to be $200. Everybody who orders this right now, you're going to get this under $100 and with interest-free payments. And, of course, if we're showing it to you, it's in our vault, so it's going to ship within hours. Shipping-wise, let's call this Thursday, Friday at most. And it's very, very, in fact, I know from other customers, and I've talked to them even very recently, that the stuff that was ordered yesterday did ship today. So most of you that ordered yesterday should see it Tuesday, Wednesday. No problem. All right. And why is that? Some of you might ask if you're used to the more shall we say, sloth-oriented 7 to 10 working days, which is TV speak for 2 weeks, which is pretty much everybody else that does this but us. We partnered with FedEx from day one. All right, so I'm going to turn this over to Larry, and let's learn about the Basilica, because this is nutty. Well, first of all, this is what we would call a unisex watch. It's actually designed to be a gentleman's dress watch, but because it's not overpowering, definitely it looks great on the ladies. And I would say we've sold several hundred so far this weekend, and I would say probably more than half of them have gone to ladies because they've been showing it on the lady shows this morning and the jewelry shows, and I've done a couple of shows in the afternoon, and they've gone over very well with the ladies, and it looks fabulous on our beautiful and talented model over here, Kim. And it looks great on you, Kim. It really does. But the main thing here is, for $100, you're getting a mechanical automatic timepiece. That in itself should light up the lines. And I can already see, Tim, that it looks like the lines are lit up right now. But we brought in tremendous quantity on this. Basically, we had to in order to deliver such a great price. It's a holiday special. It's something that was put together by the big wigs here at WSS and Stuhrling Original in order to offer something at a price. And a lot of times when we do offer things at a price, and we have some things now that we're offering at a price, but they're end of the lot, end of the run, closeout kind of things. And I want to make this very, very clear that this is not one of those situations. This is a brand new spanking model here that has never been seen before. First time on the air this weekend here. The main thing here is the crystal, of course. This crystal is made from Cristerna, but it's what we call a cathedral crystal. It's kind of got a cathedral ceiling effect with the beveled edges on the side, as Tim is showing you right there. And by the way, Tim is holding the copper dial. Our copper dials are second to none, and I think we are very, very, very limited. We're almost completely out of the copper. So if anybody out there wants that copper, you better hurry. That is going to be the first one to sell out. I checked the quantities before the show tonight. But our copper dials are just gorgeous. But again, you're getting a mechanical automatic timepiece at just a tremendous price. It's just a beautiful piece, and it looks great on men as a dress piece. You know, I like big timepieces, but at the same time, I have a lot of them, and you don't always want to wear an overpowering, huge piece. And sometimes when you go out with a nice suit or a nice cuff, you know, a nice size dress piece on a gentleman, and Tim's putting the blue on, it looks great. The blue is probably the second one that's going to go. That blue dial is just
great. You know, dress casuals,
and you know,
sweaters,
during
jeans, something like that.
Absolutely, and you know, during the ladies' show, I think it was Carmela I was doing the show with, and she brought up a great point. She said, for all the ladies out there that own tanzanite jewelry, that blue will just go fantastic with their tanzanite. It really, really will. I think the black is probably the dressiest piece and will go with anything. The strap, by the way, on this piece is genuine French leather. It is so soft. Watch Tim, he's going to wrap it around how soft it is. I mean, it's genuine French leather. It's like butter. It's a beautiful, beautiful strap. Tim has mentioned the possibilities of putting your own exotic strap on that, which is not a bad idea at all. But these are really soft, genuine French leather straps. The case is not a cast case at all. It's solid 316L surgical stainless steel. Everything about it is manufactured the right way in quality, and it's just a beautiful piece for the money, and it's very functional. So take advantage of this. It's a great holiday special here at WSS.
We're going to be moving on in about 30 seconds. It looks like copper will be the one that'll sell out first. This is, for those of you who like myself that collect straps, this is a 20 millimeter. It is equipped with quick change pins. Speaking of straps, our 22 millimeters are in, and our Strapmeister cannot contain his joy. He's actually squealing like a little girl. So it's going to be big fun when we have that, which actually they're not going to be released until Wednesday. Just so you know. But it'll be on our website. There'll be a blurb in the newsletter about it. So basically, if you want to get a preview, every strap we have at a 20 is coming out in a 22. And so a lot of the Stuhrlings you're going to see tonight are either 20 or 22. So, and I'll try to point them out. But that first one, under $100, is a 20 millimeter, just so you know. All right, moving on. And by the way, you make a very good point. Because not everyone's going to upgrade with the straps, obviously. And that French leather is very cool.
Isn't it soft?
It's soft and beautiful, and they're going to love it. All right, let's talk about this whole Versailles business. I mean, right out of the gate, the first thing anybody who has studied watches, or forget that, let's say you haven't studied watches, you just read Rob Report or W or any of that noise. Oh, I got to do an update here. All right, blue, gone, rose, one left. And listen to me on this, please, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't wait for the presentation.
No, call if you want this. And if the one is still here, and there's literally one in our vault, and that's it. Now, the one, well, let's do this watch because we started, and after that we'll get to, why not? We'll do the Tourbillon after we finish up on the Versailles. But here's the deal, guys. Don't wait. If you're seriously interested, please listen to me. We'll probably get more. I'm not saying we will. I'm not saying we won't. If I had to guess, we probably will. My guess is going to be, January, February. If you're looking at this for Christmas, buy it now. Hanukkah, buy it now. Any birthday, anniversary, frankly, before Valentine's Day, I would buy it now. This is going to be here. It's going to be gone, period.
And Tim, I'd like to add one thing on that. I want everybody to know that this is a limited edition. The cases are numbered 1 through 50, and what we have to do is we have to wait for a few more of the tourbillon movements to be produced. I think we can have a couple more by our January appearance here, but I want everybody to know this doesn't go on forever. It is a limited edition of only 50 pieces. So.
And this is the last time you're going to see it this year, I can guarantee that. And I'm not guaranteeing the January show, by the way, because if you're familiar with tourbillons, you know you just don't call up somebody and go, make me a tourbillon.
That's right. Thank you, Tim.
Unless you have 6 months. So Just saying. All right, so we'll get to that in roughly 3 minutes because we're going to show you this first for roughly 3 minutes. So here's the deal. As we're starting to talk about, speaking of tourbillons, very, very upscale, almost by definition, just aesthetically, the way you guys built this.
Absolutely. We call it the Versailles because of its French influence on this piece. You know, a lot of times the industry, the way the watch industry is, Tim, and you've seen it a million times, everybody kind of is influenced by everybody else. And I mean, there's a lot of original ideas out there, and we have original creations, and everybody does. But then sometimes one company is inspired by another, and they'll take a design and they'll do their own thing with it. But this definitely has a French influence, and it's the case, from the case standpoint, is similar in style to the Hermes. And if anybody has ever seen the Hermes, I mean, our watch looks very different than theirs, but the case style. And that's where it gets its name from, is the Versailles. What I like about it, of course, and I know you're a big fan of our guilloche dials, but this one's right up there. Beautiful guilloche Soleil design here. This dial's been stamped probably 40, 50 times easily by those vintage German machines. But one of the really nice things about this piece is the Arabic numerals are encircled all the way around, and then down there at the 6 o'clock position where the 6 you would expect to see, there's a circle, and inside that circle is not a 6, it's the date. So it's kind of a hidden date. And if this one happens to show the 12th, so somebody did set this watch because today is the 12th. But in any case, nice hands, nice little bit of touch of luminescence on the hands, luminescent dots every 5 minutes. You have a nice onion crown with a nice sapphire cabochon. And another thing I do like about it, Tim, is, and ladies and gentlemen, is the way that they've created the illusion of a round watch in a tonneau case. And if you look at it, your first instinct is that this is a round watch. But when you look at the case, it really is a tonneau. And what adds to the illusion is that the tonneau case is actually beveled on the sides to further enhance that illusion that it really is a circular watch. And those bevels are polished, like the beveled bezel, against the brushed satin. So it really is kind of an illusion piece. It's to me, the one you're showing is probably the dressiest right now, Tim, the rose gold with a silver tone dial.
Well, it makes sense because rose gold, of course, is, if you look at it historically, is realistic, is also known as pink gold and third color gold, is probably the darling of high-end. When I say high-end, I'm talking watches 30, 40, 50, you know, and up, over $100,000. People pay serious premiums to get rose gold, pink gold, what have you. So the concept of this being the most upscale in its appearance is pretty obvious. If you'd like this one, this is rose, because it has the rose dial and the rose case. Other options include the steel with the blue, and that's the one that Kim is wearing for you. You can also get rose. Now, if you order this one, in other words, if you just want the rose gold accent, and of course we're talking layering, obviously, with the treatment of the rose gold, in the 316L steel, then you'd order just the single rose, and this, of course, is the black. By the way, you talk about some guilloche.
Yes.
That's some serious guilloche work. You can get it to pop like that on a black
really is.
dial.
And I just now looked at the...
We're not even trying. I mean, just
Exactly. It really is. And I just now looked at the graphic and I saw the price, and it reminds me that I want to let everybody know that this is very, very special pricing being offered right here by WSS. This has never appeared anywhere close to this price. It's a fantastic price. I think it beats the lowest anywhere by $50. So this is definitely a holiday gift from WSS. Ladies and gentlemen, please take advantage of this. And by the way, this one has sapphire crystals.
Now that I didn't know. That's cool.
I mean, double check that for me. I'm pretty sure it does.
It's very well made.
Would you please double check that for me? I don't have my glasses, but if I remember correctly, I thought it had sapphire.
Yeah, sapphire.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does have
sapphire front and back.
Yeah, this is just a spectacular bargain. You see the screw down case back, dual push button deployment clasp. It's got the water repellent liner on the leather strap. So it's got all the bells and whistles, and generally the MSRP is a giveaway to those touches right there.
Yeah, but it's $930, and I appreciate, by the way, that neither of us really push this stuff largely based on price.
Yeah, I don't
usually like
either.
to close with it because there's so much like cooler stuff to talk about. But
I
that
agree.
is a $930 watch for, you know, $1.50. Somebody wants to grab it. All right, now let's go ahead and we'll do 3 minutes. And if it runs a little long, that's fine too. But I don't anticipate that it'll be going very much longer than that at all. First of all, what you are seeing is a one-of-a-kind, and when I'm using the term one-of-a-kind in this capacity, what I'm referring to is that we have only one. Now, a little bit of back story here. We got roughly 5 or 6 of the blue, 5 or 6, and this would, I guess, be Thursday, Friday last. We got 5 or 6 blue, 5 or 6 rose. The rose by Sunday afternoon had completely sold out, gone. And in fact, of the blue, it also completely sold out except 2. Overnight, we had another one go, and as we began the show today, we had no rose. I should say the work day. We had no rose. We had 1 left in the blue. Top men called top men. We had basically expressed out here 2 additional in the rose gold. It would have got more. That's all they had. And this is it. So as far as I know, these are the only ones in the country right now. Since the beginning of tonight's show, the 1 in the blue, gone. 1 of the 2 in the rose, gone. When the next rose gold goes, and it will, this is the only one until sometime next year. And I'm not saying we'll never get them. I can't guarantee that we will. We probably will get them, but we will not get this before Christmas, Hanukkah at all. So if you are interested, this is a record low price on a Stuhrling tourbillon, period. There's never been a Stuhrling tourbillon, brand new in the box, direct from Stuhrling, that has been available at this price to the public ever. All right, so what is a tourbillon? Let's talk about that. The tourbillon is one of the most sought-after complications under $100,000. Most tourbillons are north, as many of you know, of $40,000. This one is a handmade tourbillon. It is a true mechanical. This is sapphire crystal front and back, presented on crocodile strap, hand-built bracelet. Well, it is. Oh, actually, it is handmade bracelet, but it's a handmade case. Recessed pushers to set the subs. The sub dials on this include, let me double check, it is a day wheel and a date wheel at the 10 and 2 respectively. All right, so what is a tourbillon? Well, a tourbillon was invented by a gentleman that, without question, was a genius, and he's often touted, and I don't disagree, as the greatest watchmaker of all time, Abraham Louis Breguet. He invented this contraption roughly 200 years ago, and his theory was that the reason watches gained and lost time was the pull of gravity. And so his theory ran that if he could make the entire escapement rotate constantly, it would negate the force of gravity. And you got to remember, this is basically your powertrain. So imagine trying to figure out a way to get the whole cage to spin around constantly while remaining always in contact with the rest of the mechanical movement. And therein is the genius. It takes a very, very, very long time to make one of these. There's only a relative handful of sources really in the world that can do a tourbillon. This is not a look-alike. This is the genuine article. And this is, as I stated, at a record low price. And I'm not going to overly belabor this. I'm going to move on. We literally have 1. And when this is gone, there are no more of them. Because if there were more, I would have them tonight. In the last 20 minutes, 2 of the 3 I did have are confirmed sold out. And this is the final one. And I'll put it on very quickly for a couple of reasons, not the least of which is I don't have a tourbillon in my collection. This is as close as I'm going to be for the time being. And frankly, the smallest fraction of 1% of watch collectors ever own a handmade tourbillon. Ever. This is very cool. So I'll show you that real quick, and then we'll take a look at the Alpine here for a couple of minutes. Well, no, probably not even.
You know, Tim, I would love to see that on our Model Kim, but we just don't have the time, because I would love to see some lady business executive buy the last one and walk into a meeting wearing a gentleman's tourbillon.
Yeah, we'll do it. All right, well, I'll have Kim wear it real quick. And then seriously, we got to go, because there is just the one. And we've already spent too much time on it. So 2990, if you would like it. The Alpine will be next. Just so you know, as you're looking at the Alpine now, seriously, black gone, yellow gone. Historically, the hottest one is the one layered in rose gold that is available. I will show it to you for 2 minutes. In fact, Chris, tell me how many of these we even have, because maybe we should just do a minute on it if we're down to much under 20. And we'll leave it at that, but that's very, very cool. So we'll show you Kim wearing, let's do 1 minute on this. We'll do Kim real quick here with the tourbillon, and then we got to go. By the way, it is amazing on a lady's wrist. It is very large, but you got to admit that's a very, very cool look.
It's kind of jaw-dropping, isn't it? A lady walks into a business meeting or something like that, a boardroom. You know, it's
absolutely intense.
Yeah, just blow all the guys away wearing a A gentleman's tourbillon.
That's cool. $16,000 watch, guys. I've got one at $39.99. We cannot get any more of them until next year. All right, let's go to move on. 60 here, please. In 60 seconds, this will sell out, or either way we go.
Thanks, guys.
This is well under 20. As a matter of fact, I don't even think I've got more over than 12 and 14 of these right now. I have one of these in my collection, and they are very, very cool. They actually wear very comfortably. It is, for the record, a 23 millimeter strap, which makes it very unusual, so you probably want to hang on to this one. I love how you coordinated the strap, but obviously the story here is the fact that for this kind of money, which is, by the way, also a very inexpensive price on this watch. Historically, it's commanded much more. It's a skeleton mechanical automatic.
Absolutely, and this definitely would have to classify as maybe the biggest hit of the weekend, or certainly the second biggest after the Basilica.
Absolutely.
The Basilica, of course, is a very promotional price, but we've sold almost our entire stock out. The other two executions are completely gone. And it's a little bit of a wonderment to me why this one didn't go first, because I think the rose gold is just spectacular.
Well, historically, it is the number one.
Yeah, exactly. But nevertheless, we have a few pieces left in this execution only. And there's so much to talk about with this piece. That propeller faceplate, it's a big dome. Now, I wouldn't necessarily call it a bubble, but it's a nice, which is kind of nice too, because the big bubbles, sometimes you whack those things and they take a whack on it. Here, it's just a nice dome. But also, what's remaining of the dial still has nice evidence of our guilloche work. And so you have the combination of the guilloche with the skeletonized dial, so that you can see all the inner workings of the movement itself. It's an automatic timepiece. And of course, that big scalloped edge 44 millimeter case.
And I got to tell you, I'm glad I have one. I love it. I wear it all the time. They're very cool.
I will share something with you. We are currently in production right now on a ladies version, where the case is smaller for the ladies, and we hope to have it by January. If not January, then February. But they are in production.
We should probably talk about it, because we've got,
and the ladies,
in fact, the one that I'm wearing tonight, which we'll show up close later. We're planning the mother of all first anniversary shows, which will happen at or about Valentine's Day. And if possible, we're going to get the baby bubble. That's going to be part of it, and we'll get the one I'm wearing. Anyway, we'll talk about that. So let's go to move on. Let's talk about the Saturn. This one here again, brand new this weekend. I guess one of the first places we can start on this would be your case design.
Yeah, the case design. This is a very, very hot look in watchmaking right now. They call it double milling. A lot of manufacturers, not a lot, but there are a few manufacturers anyway out there that are doing the double row milling bezels. And we've done, this is our second watch now with this kind of a double milled bezel. We had the Century City watch, which you see in our promo here on WSS, which is a beautiful, sleek to no shape case with a power reserve. Well, here we've done it in a nice 40 millimeter round case. And again, that's a very hot look in watchmaking right now. But this is a very complicated timepiece here. For guys who like intricate timepieces, this is a master calendar with a sun-moon AM/PM indicator and a pointer date. That hand that has the red arrow on it is actually pointing to your date. So you have a day, a date, and a month, which makes it a master calendar. You've got the double row milled bezel, 316L surgical stainless steel, onion style crown with a genuine sapphire cabochon, and an AM/PM sun-moon indicator. And of course, it does have the offset second-hand subdial as well. So it's a complicated timepiece, but without getting into all the complications here, the fact is it just looks great on the wrist. I mean, it's a dressy piece. It's an automatic timepiece. It's got Cristerna crystals front and back, dual deploying clasp. We're very proud of this piece. I think it's the finest pointer date that we've made to date. This is, I think, our third version of a pointer date in our history, and I would definitely categorize the Saturn as our finest.
You look at this, and there's just so much to talk about, just for sheer detail. The outer track date's one of my personal favorite features. I think it's really cool. The fact that it's a deep dish, which you guys haven't done a lot of historically. I think it's a nice departure to get into it. The fact that it's mechanical automatic, the fact it's animated AM/PM, and a month window and a day window. Cristerna crystal, by the way, I want to talk about that for a bit. This is a very cool material. It actually comes from the eyeglass industry, and it is more scratch resistant than a mineral crystal would be, and it's more shatter resistant than a sapphire crystal would be. So in many instances, it's actually considered an upgrade. Certainly when you compare it to what you've been seeing, for example, in the world of the mineral crystals. Not to mention, moving beyond all of that, is that if you look at this as a whole, you are talking about a $1,300 watch here. Was it $1,270? It's available under $400 with interest-free payments. You can pay this out over the next several months. WSS does not charge you any interest at all to take advantage of that, if that'll help you. I shop here all the time and I use it all the time. I'm telling you, it's great. You guys are going to love it. This is $2,993. Let me put one of these on here so you guys can see it. It's available in 4 different combinations. The silver with blue, for those of you who like the whole concept of the blue hands and markers, I think that would be a really strong choice. The number one seller, for those of you who follow such things, is the copper dial, so far all the way to the right. But a very cool watch.
Yeah, I would categorize this as a very important timepiece. When you go out, you know, you look important, you feel great, you're going to get a lot of compliments on it, you're going to get a lot of looks. It looks like a watch that costs $10,000. It's just, you know, the kind of piece that just makes you feel important. I mean, it's an important timepiece. It really is.
I've got to put a last call on it. All 4 configurations are available. It is $2,993. That is the item number, of course. $2,993 while they last. Okay, moving ahead. This next one, I know there can't be more than a handful of these either. So let's go. We'll do a couple minutes on this particular piece. Now, looking ahead, do you foresee that you guys will be doing more of the Anadigi stuff, or is this kind of an anomaly, or how do you?
No, I don't know if I shouldn't say I don't foresee it or I do foresee it. I can only tell you that I know we don't have any on the drawing board. I know we don't have any in production at this time, and I know we don't have any on the drawing board at this time. Right now, we have a lot of merchandise in production. We have a lot of things on the drawing board, even for the ladies and the men. But I can tell you honestly, there's nothing as far as Anadigis coming out right now. That doesn't mean we're not going to do one maybe, who knows, in 6 months or a year. I don't know. But the point is we're down to the very, very end of these, and this is definitely a rock bottom price. We never expected to see this anywhere near this price. We've pretty much sold out most of them here this weekend. This is also, we've sold quite a few of these here this weekend. The black ones are completely gone. That's why we're not showing it. And whatever's left is just a handful. You have the last of our quantity, Tim.
Now that I didn't know.
Yes,
so somebody wants this is it.
Yeah, there's nobody else that has these besides WSS right now, and we've given you the last of everything we have. So this is it. Whatever's remaining here is at WSS. And by the way, this is a sapphire crystal as well.
This is also, incidentally, a $1,200 watch at $179. And what's brilliant, of course, about this, if you're not familiar with this whole Anadigi thing, and I got to make sure this is set up so it'll do it for me here, but this is really cool stuff. You guys are going to love this. Check this out. This is yes, it is Anadigi. So the analog, of course, is time of day. But you can have, there's an alarm. There's a day of the week.
That's the Wednesday, right?
This
and the
is
date. There's your
chronograph, 1/100th of a second. And now we're back to that. And there's one, I'll try to get it. There's one where you can just get the date showing and nothing else.
Time zone number 1.
There you go.
There's the simple date at 3 o'clock the 17th, and then you would push the button at the top to turn it off. There you go. And now you can completely turn off the digital display, and nobody even knows you have a digital display. It's got 3 time zones. It's got a chronograph. It's got a countdown timer as well. It's got an alarm set. It's got a scheduler set. It's got, as you can see, the screw down case back. This is just a phenomenal Swiss quartz movement. We're very proud of it. And when you get this, you know, Tim, when you get a new watch, don't you like to play with it?
Absolutely. It's part of the fun, isn't it?
It's part of the fun, right. Well, when you get this, folks, this is the kind of watch you get the instructions. You can play with it for a month just learning how to use this thing. I mean, it really can't occupy you for that long. There's so much to it.
I'm going to put a last call in this now. It does remain available, albeit in a small quantity. And again, and I want to talk about this just for a second, too. The reason that we actually have this is we requested it because of the huge demand that we've had for the ladies' Anadigi, which I don't know if we're going to do on the show tonight, but if there are any left, it's certainly on our website, shoppingsource.com. And in the Stuhrling premiere show, as they joined us exclusively here at WSS about a month ago, we had such a huge response to the ladies, and a lot of these guys were writing, did they ever make one in a gentleman's size? So this larger one wasn't even available basically until this weekend, and it's mostly gone. All right, now this is another one that was, at least to myself, was very, very new when we brought this out yesterday.
Mm-hmm. It's a brand new piece. This has been debuted this weekend here at WSS.
Now, is this also something that you'd see you guys, because the thing, especially now with the advent of the tourbillon, it seems to me you're really serious about taking on some intriguing and very different complications. You guys obviously are not looking to be run-of-the-mill in any way.
Well, thank you, Tim. That's kind of what Stuhrling Original is all about. Everything we do is, with the respect and for the art and tradition of the Swiss watchmaking legend, and we love the multi-complication timepieces. At the same time, I think we need to develop more of our everyday watches too. But this one right here, our Piattino di Volo, I don't know how many other manufacturers right now are making a watch. I know of a couple, okay, but that's it. There may be a few others that are making a wristwatch that combines a mechanical automatic timepiece and a Swiss quartz movement in the same watch. That is very unique. If you're looking for something special, you're looking for something different to add to your collection, this is a dual time zone. The center dial, the big dial, is run by a mechanical automatic movement, okay? The dual time down there at the 8 o'clock position, that sub dial, is run by a Swiss quartz movement, and it has its own separate crown. See it down there at 8 o'clock? So you have two crowns with two movements on this piece. And again, that's very unique. And if you look at that case, for example, the way that cutout is in the case for the subdial right there, and think about the crystal that has to fit in there. That's a Cristerna crystal. That has to be cut special to fit that. So there's a lot of expense in making this timepiece. Two movements, mechanical automatic, special case, special crystal. And we've got the guilloche dial work and the kind of swirled fan, as you can see.
Yeah, let's talk about that just for a second, because one of the things that's really cool about this is that, okay, so you're combining the quartz, you're combining the mechanical automatic, but you're still coming back to that artistry that's put Stuhrling on the map in the first place, which is, of course, is these just amazing dials. For those of you who aren't familiar with why, or more accurately, how Stuhrling's able to do this, is they are using vintage German machinery when it comes to building the dials. And these dials can be struck anywhere from 30 to 50 times each, as compared to 1 and 3 and things like that when you're looking at other watches. The number one seller in this is the copper dial that happens to be on the screen at the moment. And by the way, I'm not trying to talk you into this one. We have, as you can see, 4 different dials. In my personal opinion, and that's all it is, I do think that the copper one is pretty cool. All of these have screwed-in backs. They are all exhibition backs, which I'll also illustrate here in just a moment. You can get this in the silver tone. You can also get this in a very rich blue, which makes it, in fact, if you want kind of the sporty approach, I'd say maybe put you into the blue one. The straps on this particular one, I believe, are 20s, I think, but I'll tell you in just a second.
20.
Are they 20s?
Yeah, they're 20.
So if you do want to mess around with the getting into exotic straps, you can get that right now on our website, and we'll save you a fortune on some of the world's best exotics built by Stylecraft, and they will drop right onto this if you want to mess with it. I love the two-tone stitching that's on here now. I think some of you may look at this and go, you know what, I really like the two-tone just the way it is, and obviously you have that right out of the box, which incidentally, since this is all in stock, because we don't present watches we don't have in our vault, that you will be seeing this, let's call Shipping Tuesday, most of you by Thursday is not going to be a problem. So if you notice that we're not really harping, and you can get it for Christmas, it's because we ship with FedEx every day of every year. Maybe I should be telling you more, that you shouldn't worry about this, because you're going to get in plenty of time for Hanukkah and plenty of time for Christmas, because you are. Because instead of having to wait 7 to 10 working days, which is TV speak for 2 weeks, and I was speaking to someone just yesterday, they had to wait 7 weeks for a watch that they bought frankly from another source, that we ship everything here in 2 to 3 days, because we partnered with FedEx from day one. So you pick one of these, no matter which it is, silver, copper, blue, whatever, and it looks amazing on. It's very big, very dramatic, which is the point. It gets attention, which is, to me, the point of wearing something like this. And it's a $930 watch that is truly a mechanical automatic, and it is also a quartz, because they have 2 engines into one case, and it's under $300, and with interest-free payments. Guys, check it out for $100, $8 to FedEx.
I want to ask you a question, Tim. You've been basically doing watches now for how many years?
That's a good question. Roughly, I don't know, 8 years maybe, 7, 8 years, something like that. Yeah.
In your 8 years, all the thousands of watches you have seen, do you remember seeing a quartz and a mechanical automatic in the same watch?
One.
You did see one?
One. And it was a lot more than this.
Really?
Yeah.
How long ago?
That was...
I'm just curious because maybe...
I'm going to have to ballpark 4 years.
4 years ago you saw one, huh?
Yeah, I can't even remember the brand, but it was pricey.
Okay. So it's not every day.
Oh, no. It's very unusual.
It's not every day. If you're looking for something that's different in a dual time zone piece, you want something unique to add to your collection, I think this is, by your own answer there, I'd have to say it's pretty unique.
It's very unique. It's one of the things I love about this. It's not just the fact that the case is unique, the design and the dial, all of which are true, are very unique. The very fact that you guys are able to put the two engines in the single case makes it very, very special and very different.
Absolutely.
All right, diver's watch. Now, this is something that, if nothing else, I think kind of stands out, is that it's on a steel bracelet. You guys aren't doing a whole lot yet with steel. I know you have things in the works, and certainly in 06 you're going to see a lot more, but this is one of the relative few examples that you guys, to my knowledge anyway, to date have actually done all in steel.
Well, I'll tell you why. I mean, I'd like to see us do more bracelet type watches, and I think in our ladies' side we're going to get into more bracelet, stainless steel bracelets, okay? But a lot of times in timepieces, especially timepieces that sell on television, you'll see steel bracelet watches, but they really shortcut the stainless steel. There are ways to do it where it looks like a solid stainless steel bracelet, but maybe it's a little hollow or it's a little lightweight, or there's ways to shortcut it, and we don't do that. This is solid 316. This is a very, very heavy stainless steel link bracelet, folks. And again, the price is a gift from WSS on this. This is a mechanical automatic screw down crown, unidirectional ratcheting bezel, diver's watch. I personally love the green. The green dial, I think, is just spectacular. And this one here is probably the most expensive for us to produce, that rose gold link down the center. And by the way, even on the ones that don't have the rose gold link down the center, that extra tooling on that center link cost us quite a bit of money to do that. So to do these solid link bracelets are very, very expensive. And these are sapphire crystals, by the way, Tim, front and back. Okay, in a mechanical automatic. This watch was never intended to sell for anywhere near this price. And if there's people out there that are watching the show right now that are really into collecting diver's look or diver's watches. I mean, most people who wear a diver's watch never go diving, and I would definitely put myself in that category. You're not going to get me go dipping down there, okay?
Well, it's kind of like most people who buy a Steinway can't play.
Exactly. So
it's true.
So what I'm saying though, but even though there's people who don't dive with them, I know there's a lot of people who buy the diver's look, and if you're one of those kind of people, I would invite you to take this home and try it on and compare it to other diver's looks that you have. And if you're not absolutely, jumping up and down and thrilled with it, I don't ask you to send it back. I insist you send it back because I know that you will be absolutely thrilled with this piece. We're very proud of it. And like you said, Tim, I hope to see us doing more link bracelets in the future.
This piece, guys, is sapphire crystal front and back, mechanical automatic. $930 sport design, or more accurately dive design watch. It's available in a blue, which is a true midnight blue, by the way. It is a blue black. That has the safety yellow sweep. It also has the rose gold treatment under the word silver, and of course the probably most collectible, I suppose, because it's so unusual, I gotta say, the green dial for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, from $930 to $148, guys, check it out for $50. And if it's not everything that we say, by all means, you can, in fact, talking about sending things back, we have extended our return policy to every single item purchased here at WSS. Between now and December 23rd, you have all the way through January to return the item. So if you want to give it for Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever, still tons of room left as far as budgeting for the potential of something not working out. So you're definitely covered. Now, this one, and you alluded to this, of course, earlier, is brand new to us. This has not been on all weekend ever.
Correct. This is the first time it's been seen here on WSS, and I kind of wanted to show it last night, and I think you were correct, Tim. You said, listen, we have to save something new that the people haven't seen till Monday night. I know we're having a ball getting into all these watches, and it's just been a great weekend, but let's save something for Monday. Well, this is what we saved right here. It's the Executive, and it's definitely been a winner for us at Stuhrling Original for sure, and you're getting just a real bargain deal on this piece. But it's a big, chunky, cushion-cut case. Guys, this is a great watch to wear to the office every day. It's a mechanical automatic, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe this also has sapphire crystals. If you would check that for me, I'm pretty sure. But one of the things I do, it does. Thank you, Tim. One of the things I like about it also is the contrasting between the brushed finish and the polished beveled edge to the case as well. It really gives you a striking contrast. And it looks great actually on Kim, But it's got the day and date at 3 o'clock, which is very practical, as you know, to have the day right over there next to the date. And of course here it's got all the hallmarks that we're known for, including that beautiful guilloche dial. So.
Now I take it that we talk a lot about the dials because in my view, I think very deservedly. It seems to me that from the very first time that Stuhrling set out to make watches, that the dial seemed to be one of the true focal points of this is what's going to make the watch famous. Because I can remember, because I was doing television at the time when they first came to the United States and they came to television. And I remember looking at them thinking, these dials rival watches that go for thousands and thousands of dollars. And I've actually, over time, I've had a chance actually to put a Stuhrling down next to some of the really, really expensive ones.
Yeah.
And if you're being brutally honest, you could argue that maybe kind of, sort of, like the $40,000 watch had a slight edge, but you got to ask yourself, was it worth $39,800 difference to get that, little minute thing that you not even are sure is there? I mean, look at this.
Just look at the guilloche work in that dial right there. That dial's been individually stamped hydraulically about 50 times to achieve that. We have to literally throw away about 2 dials for every dial that makes it into a watch. Our yield loss ratio is about 2 to 1. The gentlemen who operate these machines, these vintage German machines, of which we only have 2, okay, it's not like there's a whole bunch of them and they're stamping these things out. It takes time, okay? Those guys are true artisans that operate those machines, and they have to be, because otherwise you're going to get a lot of imperfections in the dial. And as you can see, under tremendous magnification, there are no visible imperfections at all. But a great functional mechanical automatic timepiece. It's the Executive at a great price, Tim. It really is. So I just like the look of the watch. I mean, it's a kind of a chunky piece, and yet it's stylish at the same time.
I love that spiraled.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah. I mean, it's just and like the one that we're going to do it next hour, where that whole Dubé look is just
that tribal
phenomenal.
looking thing. Yeah,
brilliant. I hope to see, and I don't know, but I'm hoping at some point in the future you guys are going to do more of this, because this is very, very
Did we
cool.
show the movement on this piece?
We haven't actually. Let me spin this around. This is a full-fledged decorated mechanical automatic ruby jewel.
Yeah, if you're looking to give a nice gift, by the way, any gentleman would love to receive a mechanical automatic, and this one doesn't have necessarily like all those complications like the Saturn or something like that, which I love that too. But here's a very easy to read, at a glance, quick read kind of a timepiece, and it's a mechanical automatic from Stuhrling Original at a really just a great price. I mean, you can't go wrong with this piece.
Guys, remember, most of the watches you're going to see tonight are going to ship within hours of our telecast, and you're going to have this for practical purposes. Let's call this for shipping Tuesday. Most of you are going to have this Thursday, Friday. Pretty much all of you, I think, are going to have it by Thursday, Friday, because we have partnered with FedEx, and we, of course, have them as our partner all day, every day, all year. So this is not new to us. This is an $800 watch. You're going to be one of the very few people in the United States wearing this one. We have just debuted it within the last couple of minutes. This has not been on our network prior. It's an $800. And it's at $179 with beautiful mechanical automatic and sapphire crystal front and back. By the way, interest-free payments. Check it out for $60. You will not believe the watch. It's really, really nice. Now, speaking of nice, let's just talk about really, really great deals. Now, you can argue that this is a lost leader, and you know what? I wouldn't take issue with that. I completely agree. This really was supposed to be on the air over the course of this weekend for $200. It's a fact. And top men had a meeting, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, they decided basically nobody's going to make any money on this, but the point is we're going to just move through blocks of hundreds of these things. And in a way, it is a pretty cool trade-off because you guys get an amazing deal, but we also end up with many, many, many billboards all across the United States walking around talking about the great deal they got at WSS and what a cool brand Stuhrling is. Really, everybody wins. This is under $100. It's the Cathedral custom-built Sterling crystal. It is an exhibition back, and here's the main thing on this. It is a gentleman's dress watch that is a mechanical automatic. I really wish they put that in the graphic, and they did not for whatever reason, but it is a mechanical automatic watch. This is not a quartz. By the way, at this price, we're at quartz, it's still a really good deal. The fact that this is a mechanical automatic is an amazing deal. Check it out for $33. You'll have it Thursday, Friday if you order it right now, 16016. We opened the show with it, so I'm just kind of recapping that, but it is still available. Hundreds and hundreds of you, of course, picking up watches, and you might need a watch box. I highly recommend watch boxes, even if you're not necessarily collectors. If you just are in a family that ends up with a few watches, this is how you store them correctly. This protects the watch, it keeps it from being scratched, and you can organize it. It just makes better sense. Now, we have two different versions. This is the 24-slot box, and believe me, they're actually giant compartments. This is a very big box. We also have it in the 12, under $80. Check it out for $40, interest-free payments, $2,955 for the 12, $2,954 if you want the big monster for the 24 slot. All right, got to go. Let's take a look, and we're going to have time, I think, to show you guys maybe a couple of watches here if we budget this out correctly. So let's take a look now, and I'll do a couple of minutes here, and if we take this to the top, that's fine too, because I know that you have championed this, and understandably, in my view, you have this in your personal collection. So we might as well talk about that too, because it's a question I'm often asked when I've guests, as we so often do here now at WSS, is what's the, whatever officer from the company's here, what watch does he have in his collection? What does he think of it? You actually stepped up and added one to your collection, as I understand it, some time ago. Yeah, the rose gold. And not only that, when we came here to shoot that promotional video that, Stuhrling Original joined WSS, that kind of thing. Yeah, I'm sure many of the people at home have seen that. We had to pick one watch in our entire collection to put in the video, and it's all about styling and grace and everything else. This was the watch that was chosen, and of course, I chose it. But I think this one really does represent our brand very well. Now, it's absent the guilloche, but there's a reason for it. We don't want to do that on every single timepiece. I mean, if you look at the double milled bezel, and we didn't do it on the Saturn either, right. Okay? The double milled bezel, this is a very hot look in the timepiece industry right now. A few manufacturers are doing this, and I think it's just a great look. But if we added guilloche with the double milled bezel, sometimes it could be too busy. It'd be too much. It'd be like fighting each other, you see? So here we have a very, very finely brushed dial here, and I don't think it's lacking for anything. But one of the real keys on this piece here, and again, the price, ladies and gentlemen, is spectacular. Thank you to WSS. You guys do work on shorter margins than most direct response television stations, I can tell you that. But you already know that. But my point is, this is a power reserve watch. This is one of the most desired complications in timepieces that's out there. It's also one of the most expensive complications, not only to produce, but to purchase. This has a power reserve. It's the first power reserve timepiece that Stuhrling Original had produced in over a year. So we're very proud of this piece. A power reserve, in case you're not familiar with that, I'll let Tim tell you what that's all about. But just look at the elegance and the grace of the Century City watch. And we call it the Century City, Tim, by the way, because it has almost like a dual split level dial. You see how it's got like you're in somebody's living room, and sometimes some people have a split level where you have to step down in. This is a split level dial, and of course the lobby in the Century Plaza Hotel in Century City has that kind of a lounge where you have to step down, and some of the biggest power brokers in the world have brokered deals right there in the Century Plaza Lounge. And I'll tell you what, this watch right here
can cinch any deal. I mean, it really can. This is the kind of timepiece that those kind of power brokers, you would see them wearing this kind of piece. It's a beautiful, beautiful timepiece.
I'm going to put a last call on this. I got barely a minute, and that's a perfect call. Let's do a minute on this one because we've got no more than, I think, 5 or 6 of these left tops, and that's it. Now, speaking of power reserves, this is also a power reserve. The one I just showed you is very, very new.
Correct.
Now, this one is brand new in the box, direct from, Stuhrling. It is not pre-owned, but this is old school. This is the original generation Stuhrling. This has a massive sapphire crystal, both front and back. In fact, it's a very big watch. This is a 44 millimeter watch, and I'm sizing this out so I can put it on for you guys real quick. This is also a $1,500 watch, by the way, $1,455. Guichet dial with sweep second, also a quick set date at the 3, and the other, I believe, is a Greenwich Mean Time. Yes, Greenwich Mean Time dial. Of course, the legendary guichet work for which Stuhrling has become increasingly famous, in my opinion, deservedly so. And I've got a couple of these, and that's it. Now, keep in mind, guys, right now, to my knowledge, we are the only place in the world where you can still get original generation Stuhrlings that are not pre-owned. I'm not talking about, some guy in his mom's basement that got one somewhere. I'm talking about actually from the factory. This is it. And when it sells out, there are no more of them. And there you have it. We got to go.
I see we're going to a break, but if anybody wants those, there's only a few left. Few lucky people. Jump on that. It's a collector's piece. It really is.
All right. Back after this, guys. We'll see you for the final segment.
Customer satisfaction. You hear that phrase a lot, but at the Worldwide Shopping Source, we stand behind it. If for any reason you are not completely satisfied with your purchase, we are happy to exchange it, credit your account, or refund your money within 30 days of the date listed on your invoice. Just log on to www.shoppingsource.com or call our customer satisfaction representatives and we will be happy to assist you. Customer satisfaction. Just another reason why we are your shopping source.
In the world of fashion, styles come and go, but a fine timepiece tells a lot about a man. And the legend of the Swiss watch is unmistakably a label of excellence and achievement. Stuhrling Original respects the art and tradition of the Swiss watchmaking legend. At Stuhrling Original, quality is never an accident. It is always the result of intelligent effort. WSS is proud to have Stuhrling Original join our family.
Are you looking for the perfect gift but have no idea what to buy? Get some great ideas by making a visit to our website, ShopPingSource.com. It's full of great items that you'll be proud to give or receive. From electronics and gemstones to watches and housewares, you'll find it on ShopPingSource.com. ShopPingSource.com is easy to navigate, has great photos and descriptions, and you can order without any worries because your transactions are secure. So what are you waiting for? Start shopping at ShopPingSource.com.
At WSS, we know that each new day seems to be busier than the last. That's why we want to make shopping fun and convenient. Whether you shop with us online or on air, we make placing an order simple. Our relationship with FedEx gives you peace of mind your purchase will arrive safely and on time. And don't forget, our customer satisfaction representatives are available to answer your questions or assist with any of your shopping needs. Shopping fun and convenience. Just another reason why we are your shopping source.
All right, we are back, and as always, never a moment too soon. So we're going to get right back into it here because actually we're running a little bit behind schedule. My name is Tim. You're tuned to the Worldwide Shopping Source. You're watching our program entitled Lines of Time, which simply put is the fastest growing timepiece show on American television. This is Larry. Larry is the president of Stuhrling, and as always, sir, thank you for being here. Great series of shows once again, and I'm not going to get into a whole lot of small talk here at the top because they're really pushing me to get into the watches, but that's because we're moving a ton of them. So let's open up with the Aussie.
Okay.
Not to be confused with the guy that threw the ham at his neighbor. This is a
that was funny.
That's probably my favorite episode. I think is when Ozzy threw the ham at the folk singers next door. This is the $800 example. Now, what we're going to do here, guys, to open up this portion of the show is we're going to show you two different well, there are two different watches. Let's call it a ladies version, gentleman's version. I happen to think ladies can wear both very easily. Of the two, the Aussie is the larger one, and it's really quite large. This is an $800 watch. It's out at $179. We are offering this with interest-free payments. This means you're going to be able to pay this out over the next several months. And it also means WSS does not charge you any interest for that added convenience. In this case, $60, $8 to FedEx. You guys are going to have this basically by Thursday, Friday, no problem. I've got all three dials, silver with the black, blue with blue, of course, and then the black with the black. That name after the slash is referring to the strap color, by the way. So really, silver obviously gets silver, blue gets blue, black gets black. You should also know all of our return policy has been extended to the end of January. If you see anything tonight and you think, you know what, that'd be great if only I had returned post-Christmas or Hanukkah. You do. You have it. You're covered. Now, this is the larger one. This is the Aussie. And part of what makes it so much fun, well, there's a lot that makes it so much fun. But I was actually at a big gathering the other night of, it was actually industry, I can't say quite industry-wide, but there's a lot of different industry people that were there. And a lot of them had questions about WSS, and the thing I just kept telling people is that this is a place where everyone looks forward to coming to work every day, and it's an amazing thing. And one of the things that makes it so much fun to be part of the watch program here is it's not just me. I'm not, like the no man is an island kind of a thing. My producer is a watch guy. We've got at least 2 watch guys on staff. We're the only major shopping network that employs a full-time strapmeister. Our CEO is a watch guy. Who else? Another one of our senior vice presidents is a major watch guy. So there's huge support here. All right, why am I telling you all this? Because they have already snapped up a whole bunch of the blue ones. For some reason, the watch guys are gravitating to that, including our CEOs lately are running around with this. Now, this is the large one. Guys, let's do 3 minutes on this. We'll keep going, but I want to bring in the smaller one at the same time, and then, of course, we'll have Larry kind of expound on his thoughts as being president of Stuhrling and all. Now, the smaller one is exactly that. Obviously, it's a different strap, but the dial concept is basically identical. It is this beautiful guilloche dial, and that's the thing I think what makes these so cool, and it's one of the reasons I want one, is yes, you look at it and you go, well, it's fun and you're going to have a great time with it and all that, and that's true. But if you want to look at it from a watch guy or girl standpoint, this still is a hand screwed in back. It still is a true guilloche dial. Just happens to be much more festive. This one is a true lady size watch, and it's out at $149. And by the way, 16 millimeter strap, so you guys can go just nuts on this thing with exotics if you want. And it looks amazing with them, by the way. Check it out for $50. Okay, now this is, of course, Kim, so let's welcome Kim as our lovely and talented model today. And she is going to be showing you initially the ladies version, which is called Over the Rainbow, and I'll also have her wear one of the Aussies. Now, did the Aussie happen first, or was it the Over the Rainbow? Or they happened at the same time?
Same time.
It was the same time.
Yeah, we produced them at the same time. The Aussie is our 102, and the Over the Rainbow is our 103, so they came at the same time. But they both have the what we call our Manhattan case, except for the Over the Rainbow obviously is much smaller. But this happens to be a very, very hot look in the industry right now. There are several manufacturers that are putting out this look with the multicolored numerals and so forth. Mm-hmm. We're very proud of ours because we've added our guilloche dial work to the piece, and that's really, what really raises the cost on the manufacturing side is the dial, really. But we've also included a really fine machine in these watches. These are both excellent Swiss quartz movements. So it's a great everyday kind of watch. You don't have to worry about winding it or anything like that. I wear mine every day. Well, not every day, but I'm saying as a daily watch that I go to the office, I have the blue one also. I gravitated to the blue one. I also got for my fiance the big the Manhattan Aussie with the white dial. So ladies can wear the larger one as well, but the smaller one does fit a little bit better for the ladies. But either way you go, it's a very hot look. It's gorgeous. I really like the perforated straps on these things.
I do too.
Yeah, I think they're gorgeous. Cool. Again, this has been a real hot piece, and by the way, we are in our third quantities with WSS on this piece. This has been
we blow through these things.
The Aussie and the Over the Rainbow have been reordered 3 times. So the response out there has been phenomenal, and I want to thank everybody out there. And for the people who've already picked these up, if you're thinking about getting another one as a gift, I mean, if you love it, hey, grab another one as a gift, because I've given a few of these as gifts, and I'll tell you, every time they just flip for them. They flip for these things. It's just fabulous.
I think what makes these so hot is, first of all, when you first look at the cases, if you just were to take away the festive dial, the case itself is very, very elegant, but then you guys do this wonderful thing where you adding, and to me, I'll just say it like this. I think what makes these work so well is that you've got a lot, well, first of all, they're beautiful on their own, but if you want to look at what has happened in upscale watches, not everyone else thinks anymore that all the expensive watches have to be black or silver. If you look at Elaine Silberstein, or you look at Roger Dubuis, or you look at, who else? Coram, Mueller would be another one. They're proof that you can go out and spend 30, 40, 50 grand to get a watch that just looks nutty. And and I mean that in a very good way. I mean, you can actually have a really high-grade timepiece and still have something that's really colorful and festive and have a great time with it.
You're absolutely right, Tim. As a matter of fact, some of the brands that have this look, they go for thousands of dollars. And you know, what some of the manufacturers are doing, everybody's putting their own spin on the numerals. You know, some are doing pastels, some are doing earth tones. We've chosen to go with primary jewel tones, and I love our colors. And here's the same case, and this is a brand new timepiece debuting this weekend, and I bought the piece immediately and I'm wearing it tonight. I love this piece. I think it's one of the most beautiful, if not the most beautiful timepiece that Stuhrling Original has ever produced to this point. I mean that.
I can't disagree, by the way. I talk a lot about their guilloche, and there's no doubt that for dollar spend, I think you guys are delivering some of the finest guilloche work that you can buy. Again, for dollar spend. I mean, if you want to argue that, yeah, Thomas Prescher does, you know, whatever. Well, yeah, but, you know, he spends a month working on a dial, and his watches go for $250,000. The point is, if you want to talk about just sheer firepower, your guys, the guilloche you guys do is phenomenal. Now, that being stated, what you did here, I think, is the simplicity. It equates to the genius, because what it does is it takes some lesser complicated guilloche through the center, and you add this magnificent, pristine mother of pearl to the outside of it.
Yeah.
And it is a fabulous look. And if you guys want to see some of this, I got to make this.
Yeah, I took the rose gold.
Check this out.
Black is always a hot mother of pearl seller, and already this
so
weekend, this has been the leader, is the black. But this is just phenomenal. A beautiful mechanical timepiece. This is positioned in our classic collection, dual deploying clasp, big Cristerna crystal, black mother of pearl, guilloche in the middle, day and date complication. This is spectacular. And when I first saw the samples come in, I really thought this was going to be on the air at about $399. I'm thrilled that it's on the air at $299. It makes it so much more affordable for so many more people. And it's been a big hit this weekend. And the black is definitely the leader. I chose the rose gold. Man, I like the rose gold. I like the white, but I have a lot of
It's
black.
very dressy, and I'll show all three of these up close, and then you guys can, you know, I'm not trying to push you guys into the black. I happen to think black's very cool. I also agree with Larry. I think if you just want pure dressy, rose gold.
Well, I already have a lot of black dial face watches in my collection, so you can't keep going black, 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 you know. So they're all great. You know, the rose with the brown is very in right now as well. So, and you know, look at it on Kim. That's just let the beauty of this piece just wash over you. Really, folks, we don't really have to say much with this piece. Just soak it in. And that's a big mechanical piece too. It's an automatic, folks.
This does have exhibition backs, Cristerna crystal front and back. If you're not familiar with the Cristerna crystal, it is more scratch resistant than a mineral crystal, and it is more shatter resistant than a sapphire crystal. This is a hand screwed in back, double stepped case, beautiful curved top. And it's very expensive, obviously. That's how they did the curved top on this thing. Now, I just showed you the black because I wanted you to see that black mother of pearl. I will show you the rose gold example in just a few moments. There you see the guilloche. If you look there towards the left portion of the screen, you can see, well, now both the mother of pearl. These are hand-applied numbers.
Man,
beautiful.
Just beautiful.
You can see why you chose this one.
Yeah, it's
mother of pearl in the background. It's just gorgeous.
I'm wearing it tonight. I've been wearing it the last 2 days. I wore the Basilica the first night, and this one the last couple days. But you know, folks, especially if you're looking for gifts, give this one as a gift to any of the men in the family, and they're just going to flip. They're going to flip. It's just fabulous. Big 22 millimeter strap, by the way. It does have the waterproof liner as well.
Now I'm going to trade Kim this one so I can show you guys really close in the blue. The blue is, again, they're all very, very different. You can't really compare the blue, for example, to the rose gold because the rose gold actually has almost a golden mother of pearl behind it, as this shot illustrates, whereas the blue is going to be on more of your pearlescent, kind of an off-white cream sort of a mother of pearl, and then of course that rich, deep, deep, deep blue. That there you see it on the numbers, and then that's equally true in the hands. I know a lot of you guys out there collect the blue numbers and the blue hands, and this is going to be the only option if you want that particular treatment in this watch.
I'll tell you, our blue numerals, I'll put them up against anybody's. Our blue is fantastic, and the guys at the factory do a super job on the blues. And blue is maybe our biggest seller as far as the numerals go in all of our models across the board. That's why almost every model we make, we have to make a blue version because it's just such a big seller for us.
I don't know, this black one is pretty intense. This is a 22 millimeter. Oh, and speaking of straps, we're going to have the 22 millimeters. They are here, and we're going to be releasing them Wednesday. So for those of you waiting on them.
The way you studied that black one, I almost got the feeling that you're considering getting this.
I am thinking about getting it, and I'll tell you what.
I know that look in your eye.
What I'm going to do with it. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. We have had for a while in our collection. Those of you who know this, we have a wine color. We have it in I think a crocodile, and we have it in an ostrich. And I'm thinking maybe do this on this wine colored ostrich. And what that's going to do. Now this doesn't come with the watch. You have to go to our website on Wednesday and get it. And you order the 22 millimeter in the ostrich. But you get the wine color, and it's going to pull. You see all these colors here? It's going to pull that purple right out of that, and it's going to be astonishing.
Mm. We're very proud of the Manhattan Chic, and
it should be.
Yeah,
it's beautiful stuff.
Yeah, I saw it. And I said, "This is the most beautiful piece we've ever made."
And yeah, we got a lot of lines going. We got to go. We got many things to go. Oh, speaking of things, not so much coming up, but recapping. There are, I should say, at this point, there is one tourbillon left. It happens to be in what has overall been the most sought after color, which is in the one with the rose gold treatment. And I will recap that a little bit later on this hour. And I'm not kidding, there is exactly one left. And when that does sell out, and it will, there are no more tourbillons until at some point in 06. So if you're thinking about Christmas, Hanukkah, or whatever, I can't even guarantee it for January. Maybe our anniversary show, which will be mid-February. In fact, I'll be previewing that show tonight too. I'm going to show you something we have in the works for that, and we'll have the world exclusives, I understand it, for Talking to Top Men today on that one, which is pretty cool. So anyhow, we've a bit of news. All right, so let's talk about this one. Here again, right out of the gate, one of the first things I noticed, very, very upscale case. Just looks very expensive, very cool.
Very similar in style to the Nardine Michelangelo case. We've made a little bit of a tweak to it, but what we've done here with the home time and the big date complication at the 2 o'clock position, we've made this completely our own. You have the offset second-hand subdial, but a very, very dressy watch. This is one of those classic Stuhrling original timepieces that, it's a very dressy, elegant, graceful piece. And it's a mechanical automatic. This says pretty much everything there is about Stuhrling, which is the mechanical automatic, the guilloche dial work, the extra complications, the very stylish case. Very dressy timepiece, not an everyday piece, Tim.
But I think that's one of the reasons that you guys have had such a success with this piece, is that it doesn't look like, even in the Stuhrling group, you don't look at this and go, yeah, you guys did something like that 2 years ago. This has a real sense of being unique. You can get this, at this point, I think, is this the only one we have? Yeah, all the others are gone. We used to have 3 or 4 different treatments on this one, and frankly, this is the #1 seller. The reason that, because then the question is, why do you have it? We actually had more of these created because we knew that demand would be there. This has rose gold treatment, including the dual deployment class. It's layered obverse and reverse. For those of you who want to get into exotics like I do, these class do port right over. You just use like a little paper clip or something. There's a little pressure pin there. You can take that. It'll, believe me, actually it's on this side, but you just port it right over. This is exhibition back. The treatment of the gold has been extended into the movement itself, so you probably have a total of 3 or 4 colors running just within the movement. True hand screwed in back, as you can see. And let me show you this on, because this is cool.
Yeah, this is I would categorize as a super value right here. And by the way, Tim,
This is insanely inexpensive.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a retired piece. We are not making any more of these. This is
that I didn't know.
Yes, this is retired, absolutely. We may do something else with this case, but this particular piece with the dual time, the home time, this particular model is retired. So we're really down to the end. When we first made this piece last year, we made huge quantities of this. We were involved in different avenues of distribution. Right. We had European distribution and everything. And it's taken a while, but we are truly down to the very end. And this is retired. We're not making this anymore. So that's why you're seeing the price where it is. This is like the very end of the rainbow, so to speak. And this has never been sold for a penny less than this. This is by far the lowest.
No, this is overwhelmingly the lowest this has ever been.
This is by far the lowest price. So if you're looking for something kind of like a, you walk into a store and you want to go right to the sale rack. I always do that. I always look for, 2X and 3X shirts and stuff at the sale rack, to see what they got, if they have something I like. If you're looking for that sale rack, this is kind of it right here, folks. This is it. This is a super, on sale, bargain basement, red tag special, if you want, whatever you want to call it. But it's super value if you're looking for something like that.
Very quickly, I'll show you the complications, and we got to go. And as we've just been pointing out, this is no longer made, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. When these are gone, and this always, I can't say it always, but largely happens, somebody always writes and goes, hey, can you get me one of those? No, they're gone. All right, so look at this, the guilloche. Now this is a mechanical big date complication. The number over at the 9 o'clock is actually an alternate time zone. It's always kind of stymied me why they call it the home time, but it is actually a digital readout on a mechanical automatic engine. This is really, really cool. And then the offset sweep, luminous hands, luminous markers, phenomenal guilloche work. I've got a mere handful of these left. When it does sell out, and obviously it will, I mean, you'll notice again, we didn't really talk about price here at all, but this is a $930 mechanical automatic. We're asking $149. It's incredibly cool.
And it is an auto.
All right, now I've got to update this. We have had a blue one pop back available. So right now I have exactly one of each. So here's the deal. Time allotting, I will show this live a little bit later on. I can't guarantee that we will, so I'll describe it very quickly now. This is a handmade tourbillon. This is overwhelmingly a record low price on a handmade Stuhrling tourbillon. Stuhrling tourbillon has never been made available to the public at this price ever. We have one in the blue, and then it is sold out. We have one in the rose gold. In fact, very quickly, a little backstory in this. We got about 5 or 6 each, roughly last Thursday, Friday. They completely sold out over the weekend, except for tonight. I had, at one point, we had, I think, 1 or 2 in the blue, and then we thought it completely sold out. Now, apparently, we have one left. The rose gold was confirmed sold out yesterday. Calls were made today. We had 2 expressed to our studio. I can take, well, when we started the show, we had 2 in the rose. I now have 1. So there's 1 in the blue. There's 1 in the rose. This is a handmade tourbillon. It's a $16,000 handmade mechanical, sapphire crystal front and back, presented on crocodile. It is available at a record low price of $39.99. It is under item number 2990, and we are offering the interest-free payment program as well. All right. Again, time allotting, we'll show that to you later, but I can't guarantee it. All right, the Aviator. This is one I actually got at JCK Vegas. I think it's a very cool watch. It's got a really fantastic Swiss movement in it. A total of 7 hands actually make up the dial. This is a chronograph, but there's so much more. There's a big date, and of course, back to the exciting dial work you guys do. So again, it's just so much to talk about when you build this concept and design in a single watch.
I would say, if we were to put down our top 10 of the year, not only is this in the top 10, it would be really hard pressed to say what is our one signature piece. And I would probably have to say the Aviator has been our signature piece this year, which is a little ironic in the sense that it's not a mechanical automatic, and that's kind of what we're known for. But nevertheless, the numbers are what the numbers are, the sales are what the sales are, and the people respond to what the people respond to, and you can't change it. The fact is, this piece is phenomenal. It has been our signature piece this year. We call it the Aviator because it kind of has a look of an instrument panel on an airplane, but the movement is just so spectacular. It's the Ronda 5050C, and all you true watch guys, Tim is running the chronograph right now, as you can see, and see that little subdial down there at 6 o'clock. It's the tenths of a second. This is the only movement in the world the Ronda 5050C to combine 4 indicators of a chronograph. Now watch him reset the watch. Watch that minute hand reset. It's awesome. But this is the only chronograph movement in the world to combine 4 indicators of a chrono, which is tenths of a second, seconds, minutes, and hours up to 12, combined with a day of the week and a big date complication. It's the Ronda 5050C, and I don't think there's another manufacturer in watchmaking that has it anywhere near this price. And it's then, of course, we added, when we bought this movement, and other manufacturers have too, we said we've got to do something special with this movement, and I believe we achieved it. The case is phenomenal. The dial work is phenomenal. Then we added that faceplate that's screwed on that just gives it that aviator look. It's just been a tremendous success, and the value for the money is tremendous. And we've got something on the drawing board now to try to take it one step further. We're with the Ronda 5040F, and that may not be available till March or April. I showed you the rendering of that piece, a big 43 millimeter job. It's going to probably be somewhere around double this price, probably around a $699 piece. But the aviator is just, like I said, it probably has to be labeled as our signature piece for 2005. And it's been a big hit here at WSS as well. And I know everybody out there that's ordered it. You know, by the way, a lot of your employees have ordered this one. I've come across quite a few. A couple of the ladies have bought them for their husbands. And the husbands have been watching the shows here saying, I want that one, and they're getting the employee discount to get them. But the aviator's been popular among the customers and the employees and everybody. And, of course, everybody in our company, I have the black one. But it's just a great timepiece. It really is.
Yeah, this is one that I snapped up probably within a couple of minutes of first seeing it. And I usually don't do that, by the way, at JCK Vegas. A lot of people think I'm out there like buying a whole bunch of watches. I mean, first of all, you're not even technically supposed to be doing that. You're supposed to just be looking at them. And sometimes you have a guy, and you can you can get a watch or two. But this is the first time in a long time I've actually picked up a watch while I'm out there. But this is one of these things, when you see it and you get a chance to hold it and mess around with it a little bit, you're like, I really want one of these things.
Yeah,
this is very cool.
Look at the guilloche work, even on the subdials. And Tim, you saw what we did at JCK with this piece. We put this watch front and center, right on that center on that corner display that we had.
Yeah.
And that's what was pulling everybody in, was the aviator. I mean, ladies, if there's any ladies watching the show right now, if you want to give your man an incredible watch as a gift, there isn't a guy out there that wouldn't love to get a piece like this. This is a great chronograph timepiece, just a great watch, and I mean, this literally is an everyday watch and a dress watch all in one, because it's a premium Swiss quartz movement. I would have to say the Ronda movements are, second to none. I mean, as far as the quartz, I don't know of another company. I mean, there's Etta out there and so forth, but I'll put the Rondas against anybody.
The thing I love about Ronda is that they've lately become, and I think it's almost due to the competition, but they feel that they pretty much had to, but they come up with these really innovative, very aggressive looks where they get the really aggressive complications stacked up, something like this, and they're durable and they're practical and they last a long time.
Check this out. Check this out. When is the last time you heard of a Swiss quartz movement that has 13 jewels? This is a 13 jewel Swiss quartz movement. And you may say, well, how do you have jewels in a quartz movement? Because this movement is all metal parts. Most quartz movements have plastic parts, not the Ronda 5050C. It's one of the premium movements in the world, folks, and that's just a fantastic timepiece, and it looks great, and you'll love it. I know you will. Everybody does.
I got to update you on this one. It is official now, guys. We are down to less than 20 remaining in the one in the middle, which we're calling silver. It is also the only one with the rose gold treatment. For the record, the other is a true midnight blue to the left and a kind of like it's a bit darker, kind of a Kelly green, I guess, to the right. But seriously, if you want that silver with the rose gold, we are down to less than, in fact, I think we're down to less than 15 of those, so that's all but gone. And that was sapphire crystal, by the way, on a mechanical automatic for under 150. This one has been one of the biggest hits that I would think within our first year that we've had in any watch brand period. They just go insane. I actually grabbed one about a month ago because I knew a guy, so I had a chance to get one. Since we actually brought these, and it had not been on the network before, never mind, they're gone, so it's forget it. I was going to tell you we had about 6 left in the rows, but
this has been one of the biggest hits of the weekend. We sold out everything we brought. This is the first time we showed it here on WSS. and we sold them all. So thank you all very, very much. We appreciate it, and you're going to love that piece. And you know, the Alpine took off like almost no other piece in our history.
Now you have plans for that, though. You guys are bringing up the ladies' example with the gemstones. I mean, it's cool.
We're doing some follow-up pieces. We're doing a ladies' example, and we also have some more of the actual Alpine in production right now. You know, the first run we sold probably 80% of them or 90% of them before we came to WSS the month before. It's a brand new piece.
Right.
We held out the remaining stock from the November appearance for this holiday appearance, and now we sold the remaining right here this weekend on WSS. So I'm pretty sure we have more coming for January, but we're also planning to do some follow-up pieces similar with domes in the same case, but different complications, okay? So keep your eye open for that.
And, of course, you can see it right here at WSS. By the way, if you want to keep abreast of what we are doing, obviously we're going to be dramatically expanding with Stuhrling through 06 and beyond, among other major brands. If you would like to get our free watch newsletter, I do invite you to be a part of that. It is email only, and all you have to do is go to our website, shoppingsource.com. Now, on our website, on the homepage, shoppingsource.com, you're going to find a very obvious link. Click that. You want to select the newsletter called Lines of Time and give us an email address. Now, when you sign up here, we are not going to spam you. We don't send you stuff you don't want. You're only going to get the newsletter, which will keep you up to date on what is new and hot and what is coming here to WSS. Sometimes we cover like breaking news within the industry. I mean, recently I talked about the big theft of the Blanc ponds out of Paris. So once in a while we're able to get some news out to you guys too. The new issue will be out in a couple of days, and that will feature Javril, because we've got them coming in this weekend with our special guest, the CEO of Javril, will be here live. So anyway, I'd have to tell you the Mocha just sold out in this. So at this point, we're down now to the silver or the copper. And this is, I think, a great watch that illustrates, as Stuhrling has done, in my view, very strongly, that when you have a quartz watch, doesn't mean it has to be a mundane watch. You guys have done a very, very cool watch with a big date complication, and here again with using the higher grade pieces.
Definitely, and you know, this is from our lifestyle collection. We call it the Big Easy, and you know, we're definitely looking to expand our lifestyle collection into some of the more casual watches. You know, we're known for the automatics and the mechanicals, but you know, we need more everyday pieces, and we came out with the Big Easy about maybe 4 months ago, 5 months ago, something like that, and it really has done very well for us. It is a Swiss quartz movement, so you have a very fine machine in this piece, but as you point out, just because it's a Swiss quartz doesn't mean it has to be a three-hand movement. You know, your basic three-hand movement. What we've done is we took a movement with an offset second-hand subdial and a big date complication at the 12 o'clock position, and we've done it in a very stylish way. We call it the Big Easy because why? It has a big date and it's easy to read. It's the Big Easy. It's one of those at-a-glance type of watches. It's a casual, everyday kind of watch. This is something you throw on, you go to work, throw it in the drawer, you pick it up 2 months later, it's still right on the money as far as time goes. It's a quartz, and you know, I've said it before, I'll say it again, I don't think anybody out there beats us on our copper dials. The copper dial on that piece is fantastic.
I'm actually kind of surprised that one didn't go first, but then again, you could argue the Mocha is more collectible because it's just scarcer.
The brown is beautiful.
So it is, it's very cool.
Yeah. And of course, this is one of my all-time favorites and one of our signature pieces for the year, the Madison Avenue, and I think we're almost sold out of this. Whatever quantities we had, this was the end of the quantities. We have no more in the factory, okay, or in the warehouse. What I'm saying is we gave you the last of the remaining quantities. This piece we started in February. It's been a big hit. We have a follow-up piece coming, but the Madison Avenue has been one of our smashes of the year. The remaining quantities came here, and this weekend we're, I think, 90% through our stock. In fact, I think this afternoon we sold out one of the executions. I don't know if you want to check on that, Tim, but is this the only execution we have remaining? Or?
I'm showing blue and rose stone still here. Is that correct, Chris, or is one of these gone?
There might have been a bounce back, but in either case, there's not a lot of quantity on either one of these. This is a beautiful dress watch. It may look familiar to a lot of people out there, but this is, I would say it's never sold for less than this price. That's for certain at $249. And if there was one watch that you were going to buy on this show, this would represent everything about our brand for sure.
Now, in fairness, I have to tell you, and you're right, we are very close to being sold out. In fact, we're confirming right now there's less than, I was going to say less than 20, it's less than 15 of the one in the rose gold. I've got a few more of a quantity as compared to this that I have in the blue, but that's going to be it. Each one of these lists for $930. It is your choice at $249 with interest-free payments. You can check this out for as little as $83 and $8 to FedEx, and you'll have this if you're ordering right now, realistically by Thursday, Friday. Very upscale case. This features Cristerna crystal, both front and back. That means it is more scratch-resistant than a mineral crystal. It means it is more shatter-resistant than a sapphire crystal. Here's a shot that really, again, illustrates that guilloche work.
Yeah.
I know I talk about it a lot, but I talk about it for good reason. And you guys do amazing, amazing craftsmanship on the dial.
And this one is one of our best, really, because if you really look at it, the inner guilloche is one pattern, and then the outer guilloche after the minute track, is a different pattern. So I mean, that's a lot of work right there. But just a fabulous dial. Look at the little outlining on the day aperture up there under the 12 o'clock. You've got a roulette style date wheel here. The lugs on this piece is just what makes this, the shoulders on the case is just what makes it so special. And then even the case back, the design on the case back, exhibition case back window, of course. And this is just a gorgeous, gorgeous piece. This is a very dressy timepiece. This is everything Stuhrling is all about. It's from our classic collection, and you will not go wrong with this piece, especially at this price too. Look at those numerals. Look at that guilloche. Oh my God, the herringbone with the crescent moons. Yeah, the luminescence on the hands. Yeah, this is like I said, this is one of our top signature pieces, and that's why, if you remember the Century City piece, the Century City piece we came out with on the heels of this. Of the success of this, we didn't have the same lugs and everything, but it's the same basic sleek to no shape, okay? We're coming out with another piece on the heels of this that is actually the same case, but with different complications, and we hope to have that for the January show, actually. But this is the very end of the Madison Avenue, and of course, Madison Avenue is all about image, okay? That's where all the ad agencies, the big ad agencies of the world are located, is on Madison Avenue, and this watch gives you all the image you want. I mean, you wear this, you're going to feel like $1 million.
Guys, I've got less than 10 of this one right now. It is all but gone. If you would like it, I'm not trying to talk you into the rose. I happen to think these are both gorgeous. They really are. But if you want to grab the one that's likely to go first at this point, I'd get you into the one layered in the rose gold. Obviously, your choices are the blue or the rose. They each list for $930. It is your choice at $249. Now we're going to get into one of my personal favorites. I will tell you right out of the gate that if you are looking for subtlety, go get a sandwich or something, and it'll get, it's not going to work out.
You're making me hungry.
Say again?
I said you're making me hungry.
Okay. I'm now told we've got less than
okay.
There's less than a dozen if you want the rose tone. Which I will have to say historically is probably the #1 seller. Now this is a 44 millimeter case. It's a monster mechanical automatic. It's a master calendar. It's also a regulator. It's a big 22 millimeter strap. And actually one of the reasons, I can say this now that they're in stock, they are here. They'll be released on Wednesday. Is I've been waiting on these 22 millimeters. Is the first thing I'm going to do when I get mine is I'm going to start dressing mine up. And I've already got some of the straps picked out, but it takes a 22. So for those of you who don't know,
you told me you want to put a mustard.
Yeah, I'm going to get mustard. I'm going to put mustard on. I just think it's going to be very, very cool. Brett says no. I'm telling you wrong. Black dial, mustard, killer dress sport watch.
Sounds like Pittsburgh.
Beautiful.
Sort
of like Pittsburgh's, but even though I'm not a fan at all, but
I know that.
I just, but sure, if it works, run with it. Or Georgia Tech, I guess, or any number of these things. All right, so let's talk about this thing. We'll do 3 minutes on it. I like it because it's a regulator. I like it because it still includes the date complication and the fact that it's a master calendar and the fact that it's an exhibition back, the fact that it's a very big watch. I don't have a 44 millimeter in my collection. That was a factor in choosing it. And yeah, I'm going to mess around with some exotic straps, and some of you guys do that and some of you don't. But the point is, this is a $1,300 watch. You guys can get this for $399. You can get this with interest-free payments as low as $133. Return privileges again extended on everything. that you purchase now until December 23rd. Return goes all the way through January, so yes, for Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever, you're good. 2923 be the item number, and right now I've got about half a dozen left, maybe if you want the rose. That's the one that Kim's wearing here at the moment. Isn't that cool? Now, see, I agree with you. I think that a lot of women can easily wear a 44 because of the huge influence now, no pun intended, when you look at what Technomarine has done and Quorum has done and all these gigantic, Roger Dubuis, another one that's doing these huge women's watches. Is it oversized? Yeah, but it's kind of the point. I mean, it just makes this statement. I guess, Larry, clearly that was sort of the intent, I guess, when you guys decided to make a 44 millimeter plus all the complications on top of everything else.
Well, 44 millimeter big cases are in, as you know, Tim, but it's not just the fact that it's big. Every time we make a regulator, we haven't made a regulator that hasn't been a hit. We make a regulator, bang, it's a hit. And we'll talk about that. We'll show you how to read this watch. But the thing is, not only if we make a regulator, it's a hit, but anytime we do this, this coin edge bezel kind of look, and you've seen our watches for years now.
Sure, I regret not getting that one from the first generation.
Right, exactly. And we've done about 5 or 6 different models with this coin edge bezel. Now, this is the Mambo one. This is that big coarse coin edge with the monster onion style crown. But nevertheless, they're always a hit. So this time we decided, all right, we are going to go all out. And I will say our design team on the production side did just an incredible job. We're now in our second quantities with you guys on this. We do have more in the warehouse. But in any case, it's been a monster hit. You say to yourself at home, man, that is unbelievable. That's gorgeous, but what time is it? Right? You don't even care what time it is. But here's the thing. To be serious for a moment, the subdial up at the 12 o'clock position is your hour hand. So right now the hour hand that Tim is pointing to is between 11 and 12. Okay, now the minute hand is that big skeletonized hand that's pointing to about, 39 or 40?
Yeah.
Let's say 40. So this watch is now telling you that it's 11:40, okay? And there's your sweep second hand going around. So it's 11:40. And, at first, you may think it's hard to read the time, but look, once you know hour hand, minute hand, it's very, very easy, 11:40. But we didn't stop there. So that's your regulator. They're on 2 separate axes, okay? But we didn't stop there. We combined this with a master calendar, okay? What is a master calendar, you say? A master calendar, many watches, as everybody who's watching this show I'm sure is aware, will show a date complication, okay? So that's very common in watches. It has the time, a 3-hand movement, and a date. Well, if that's the first step. If you show a day and a date, that's the second step. Thursday the 12th or Monday the 12th, the day and a date. Now if you show the third step, the day, date, and month, that is a master calendar. A day, date, and month. And of course the fourth step would be a year, and then it's a grand calendar. But let's take a look. The day of the week is on the subdial at 3 o'clock. There it is. And right now this one is pointing to Monday. You see that? I guess the Strapmeister must have set this one because it's set to Monday the 12th. Did you set it,
yeah.
Chris? Thank you.
Yeah. You know why that is?
Why?
Because we have 22 millimeter straps now.
Oh, okay. Oh, he's going to buy this one? Anyway, listen. So here it is. It's set. Thank you for setting the watch. And you set it with the little pushers, by the way, the recessed pushers. You see the buttons on the side? It's very easy to set this watch, ladies and gentlemen. You will love this piece, and your man's going to love it too. But anyway, there's your day complication on Monday. Now the date is in the little tiny window aperture with the reverse bezel down there at about the 8 o'clock position, and it's showing the 12th. So you have your day, your date, and where's the month? Oh, here's a subdial at 6 o'clock pointing to December. So it's Monday, December the 12th, okay? So you have, in summary now, you have a regulator timepiece with a master calendar in combination. And oh, that's not all. Hold it one more time. We didn't stop there. At the 9 o'clock position, we have a separate GMT hand at 9 o'clock giving you a 24-hour indication there. Okay, and then we didn't even talk about how the skeletonized minute hand will never obscure the hour hand either. But this Time Master stops at nothing, and it's a mechanical automatic. If it was a quartz watch, it would be a bargain.
A good deal at this price.
It would be a good deal at $400. If it were a quartz, it's not. It's a mechanical automatic. Do you have any idea of the horology involved, the ingenuity involved in making this piece work? It's unbelievable. And it's the Time Master from Stuhrling Original. My brain hurts. I gotta go. It's a tough watch. It really is. I mean, to describe. It's so much.
$1,300 watch, guys, at under $400. Interest-free payments available. All right, I told you we started with that was less than 20. Rose tone is gone. I've got very few left now in the blue. I'm just guesstimating, I don't know, a dozen thereabouts. This is a magnificent guilloche design dial, blue hands, blue markers. There are luminous markers in hands, incidentally, so it is one of these scarce dress watches you can actually see in the dark. Date complication, it alternates light and dark. That is located at 6, and there is a day window just below the 12. This is an exhibition back mechanical automatic. All right, let's move to the Traveler. One of the things I appreciate on this Traveler, and it is incidentally what's known as a world timer, and probably the most famous manufacturer of world timers, I got to go with the Patek Philippe, but certainly Ulysses Nardin has made them, and there's any number of, if you've got anywhere from I don't know, big mechanical automatics. I've seen them as high as $6,000, $7,000 in Patek Philippe West. I knew in a ballpark, and it's roughly about $15,000 for theirs.
We made a mechanical automatic,
beautiful.
Too.
Yeah,
we sold
you did.
It. We called it the Voyager, and that was a big hit for us this year. In fact, we had it on our website as our homepage for the first 6 months. But this one is a Swiss quartz, and with that one, even though I loved our Voyager piece, it was a typical world timer where you had to adjust the wheel of the cities.
Almost all of them do.
Yeah, almost all of them do. This one has a very special movement, so I'll let you talk about it.
Well, what's really cool to me about this one is that unlike any, I see a lot of watches every day, and I read the newspapers and the magazines and the catalogs and blah, blah, blah. It's still certainly possible. There's other world timers that have this. I'll just tell you this. I have not seen them. And here's what makes this one very cool, besides the beautiful guilloche design dial and all this other great stuff, is when you look at this, the secondary time zone, let's call it. And first of all, let me identify what a world timer is. Some of you may not know. A world timer allows you to track all 24 time zones around the globe simultaneously. So here's how this works. You're going to set the, let's call it the analog readout here, for your home zone, and then you're going to offset to match one of the away zones. For example, here from Minneapolis, being Central Time Zone, we would use New York. We'd use Chicago, and then we'd probably offset to New York by 1 hour because it's real easy. You can, do whatever you wish. Now, the point is, once you've created the offset on this, unlike any world timer of which I'm familiar, you never, ever have to touch it again. You don't twist a bezel. You don't turn a knob. This, in real time, tracks all 24 time zones constantly. Most of this country, for example, changes for, daylight savings or whatever. When you adjust this watch for that, the rest of the zones are going to go right with it. It's very, very cool. This is an $875 example. It is under $200. It's available in the steel with the black, obviously in the center, straight silver tone. Actually will get you the blue markers in hands, in this case Arabic numbers, and then of course the one layered in rose gold is simply called rose tone. 2927 if you want to grab that. We'll do another minute or so on this approximately, and then we're going to have to keep going because I got a lot of stuff to go. I still want to maybe recap, even if just for a couple of minutes. We got, I think there's one of each, so I'll show you guys the tourbillons. If you haven't seen them, this is quite literally your last shot at them prior to Christmas, Hanukkah, because coming up this weekend we're going to have Javril, and obviously I'm not going to do the Stuhrling tourbillon in the Javril show, so this is it. So I've got one in blue, one in rose, we'll get to that, and also a preview of the one-year anniversary show of WSS, which is going to happen mid-February. So, Larry, I want to get your thoughts on this as well, because I've actually, most of what I know from this, actually learned from you, because you championed this watch actually very early on.
This is phenomenal. This is a great watch for a business executive. Anybody who, has that situation where, maybe you have to know what time it is in Paris or London or Hong Kong, or even if you just want to know what time it is in Los Angeles and New York, or you see the different cities around the world. There's Moscow, Dubai, here we go. I mean, all the way around. There you see the Tokyo and Sydney and Hawaii and Anchorage and Denver. So, the Denver, of course, for the mountain time, New York for the East Coast, Chicago, Caracas, Rio de Janeiro. So, anyway, in this global economy, the world's getting smaller and smaller with the internet. It seems like everybody does traveling or has business in other parts of the world, this is just a great piece. And if you are looking for a gift for a traveler, or if you do any traveling, or if you have loved ones in another part of the world, this is just a great item to have. It's a great item to give. It's very dressy. We have the guilloche dial on what is remaining on the dial. And from a technical standpoint, it's really one of the finest Swiss quartz world timers that's ever been produced ever. And we're very proud of this piece. And it says Traveler on the back of the case as well. And it's just a dressy piece. Even if you just want to use it just to tell the time and don't even use the world time part of it, it's just a great piece.
Let's do a couple of minutes on this one as well. And I'll tell you guys out of the gate, frankly, this deserves way more than 2 minutes, but we are going to allow for some time to recap the tourbillons. Plus, I've got, at the very end of the show, I'm going to preview our one-year anniversary show for you guys. So still some stuff in the works. All right, so let's talk about this. One of the reasons I love bringing this out on the show, and usually if I have the opportunity, I tend to bring it out, even if just for a couple of minutes, is I own one. In fact, this is one of the first Stuhrlings I ever bought. Now, technically, mine has a different engine in it, but the case is the same, and the dial, which is frankly why I bought it, is the same. It is this phenomenal kind of this folded ribbon guilloche thing, and it looks really, really, really expensive. And one of the things I did, and you can already see where I'm going with this, is I put a 20 millimeter exotic on it when I got it home, and I'm telling you, this, when you wear it, it looks like you're wearing a solid many four figures, and if you had the one layered in gold, you could argue you're looking over 10,000 just in the physical appearance of this thing. It is a phenomenal look. If you look at this even in extreme detail, I mean, you look at this. This is a mechanical automatic big date with an amazingly detailed dial. $900 watch at $229 with exhibition back, with handset back. Just look at the multiple, the design variants that they do just on the guilloche design alone. It's very, very cool.
Yeah, we call this one a ribbon style guilloche, but in any case, a very, very sleek tonneau shaped case. Very dressy watch, super for the price. It's our Park Avenue. We are down toward the end of the lot on this piece, and we don't have anything on the drawing board to do with this case right now, but I imagine eventually we will come back with something else in this case, because this case, as you mentioned, you have a watch with this case.
Yeah.
You have one of our pieces with this case, and with the moon phase, but I imagine we'll do something else with it, because it was definitely one of the most popular cases that we ever produced.
And I think deservedly so. Yeah. And I speak as an owner. I'm telling you, these are absolutely gorgeous. And am I telling you about exotics because I like you to go to our website and look at it? Yeah, I am. Let me tell you something, guys. You put an exotic on this thing, it looks like you're wearing thousands. And I know, because I did it. It's smart, and not that you have to. I mean, these are great. They're contrast stitch. I know a lot of you are going to upgrade, and a lot of you say, you know what, I'm just going to keep it like it is. If you keep it like it is, it's still a phenomenal watch. But the real secret on this, I'm just if and when, because you can do it whenever you want, is, I'm telling you, drop an exotic on this thing. All right, we got to go. 2913. All right. Guys, give me 3 minutes on this. I'm not going to belabor it. I will start out by telling everyone in the audience, at least as it stands at the moment, we have one. We have one in the blue. Last hour we had declared it sold out. One has become available, which frankly on a $16,000 watch is not that uncommon. So we've got one left in the blue, and we have one in the rose. When these sell out, now will it sell out in the next 3 minutes? It certainly could. Even if it doesn't, it will then be presented, at least for a little while, at shoppingsource.com. It's going to sell out, and when it does, I'm not telling you we'll never get more, but I will tell you if we're lucky, we'll get them in February. And my personal guess is we're probably looking at the one-year anniversary show to see them. That'll be mid-February. The only reason I'm telling you this is that if you want to have this for the obvious, Hanukkah, Christmas thing, this is it. And I don't even think we're going to do them on television again after tonight. Maybe on Thursday, that's assuming both of them survive, which I highly doubt. This is a $16,000 watch. It lists for $15,600. This is a record low price on a Stuhrling tourbillon. No Stuhrling tourbillon has ever been offered brand new to the public at this price ever.
That's right.
And I should know because I was actually part of the team when George A. von Berg flew and hand-delivered the first ever Stuhrling tourbillon. That went for $18,000 in rose gold, and it went for $12,000 in steel. I know, I was there, I did the show. Later they released a kind of a precursor to this one. That went for $5,000. This particular example, during its debut, I was not a part of that, but I happen to know it went for $4,500. This one is under $4,000. It has never been made this affordable, ever. It is also offered with a series of interest-free payments. It is under $2,990, and there's one in the rose, and Kim is wearing the blue at the moment. All right, very quickly, what is a tourbillon? A tourbillon is an invention by Abraham Louis Breguet a couple hundred years ago, who at the time theorized that watches gained or lost time due to gravitational pull on the movement. His concept was if I could get the escapement or the powertrain of the movement to rotate constantly, it would negate the force of gravity. Now, of course, the trick to that is put this whole thing inside a cage, get it to rotate, but never, ever, ever lose contact or control of the rest of the movement. And that is the genius of the tourbillon that he invented. And today, it is the, if not the, and I think it probably is the, but it's certainly one of the most sought-after complications, under $100,000. Most tourbillons run over $40,000. This one lists for $15,600, and that $15,600 is one of the most affordable options on a handmade tourbillon on the planet. This one at under $4,000 is astonishing. It is sapphire crystal front and back. It is a handmade case. I'll take you on a tour of that very quickly. And of course, the option to have it either with the rose gold treatment or with the blue, and that's at your discretion.
And we've even combined it with the day and a date complication as well, Tim.
Look at that. This is so cool. Less than, I don't even know what the percentage is, but I can tell you this much. It is a small fraction of 1% of watch collectors in the world that will ever own their own handmade tourbillon. And frankly, I doubt that over 10% of watch collectors have ever seen a tourbillon in person. You almost have to be in a major city to even have a dealer who would carry them, because most of them start at $30,000, $40,000. Start at $30,000, $40,000. And it's not uncommon over $100,000.
It's an incredible opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to pick up a tourbillon, at not only an affordable price, but with the payments, with that the interest-free payments that WSS is offering. So, if you're looking for something very, very special, I mean, it doesn't get any more special than this in watchmaking. It really doesn't.
It is $2,990. Ordinarily, on a one-of-a-kind, I wouldn't spend so much time with it, but it's I just like showing tourbillons, frankly, because we can. And it's a limited edition. Cases are numbered 1 through 50, so there's only 50 in the world, and they're not even all completely made yet. So very rare. All right, let's talk about the Adamas. You know what? This thing is just weird and funky, and I think that's great. I think that's what makes this watch so cool. It's our number one selling timepiece of all time. We've made more of this than any other timepiece we've ever made, and it's a regulator. Okay, we talked about it. Every time we make a regulator, it's always a smash, and nothing has been a bigger smash than this. It gives you the open heart down there at the 6 o'clock position, and it's got the beautiful oval case with our guilloche dial work, separate GMT hand. Very, very significant piece, very important piece, and it's just been, everybody who's got these, when they register, they send in the comments that they love it. They buy second ones for their sons and brothers and things like that. It's we call it the Adamas because it's unconquerable. It has been our number one piece of all time. I was about to ask you that because I remember seeing the stats. This is not just the biggest seller for 05 or what have you. Historically, this is the number one selling Stuhrling ever. This piece has been advertised in many, many major publications. And by the way, it had never been shown on television before last month with WSS. We had to basically talk to that one reseller that we did business with on this piece that advertised it in all those magazines, and that was agreement was really good through the end of this year, and he let us break it for WSS. And last month we sold them out. We only brought one execution, if you recall, and that's this execution that you're showing on the monitor right now. They were all sold. So this month, we opened up a few more pieces, and we gave a second execution, which is the one that's on Kim's wrist. You didn't have this in November, the black one that's on Kim's wrist right now. So we added that. So now, historically, is the black been as popular as the silver, do you think? There's actually 6 executions on this piece. Really? Wow. Yeah. We released one. Again, we have one reseller that has sold over 10,000 pieces of this. It's our biggest seller of all time. It is phenomenal. It's the Adamas. It's our number one selling piece of all time, the open heart, I think. And it's kind of interesting how, I think it was by accident, but you put this on following the tourbillon, right? Mm-hmm.
And, at first glance, people might think, oh, is that a tourbillon? And it's not, but nevertheless, the open heart sometimes will give the illusion of, you see the balance wheel, beating back and forth, the open heart. And so it gives that impression of a tourbillon. But nevertheless, it's just a phenomenal timepiece. We added the second execution here for you this month because the great response in November to it. We sold them out. So we're in our second quantities with you now on this.
That is really, really cool. Do we have time to do one more? Sort of? All right, let's go now. We'll do it. Do it for about a minute because I got to squeeze in our quick preview here before the top of the hour. All right, here you go for a minute. This one, guys, under $200. Great way to close out the show. It is $930 watch. This is, once again, a mechanical automatic. It is an exhibition back. Has this phenomenal, I call it the rising sun. I just kind of made that up. I don't know if you guys have a different name or whatever for the dial, but eternal sunrise, I guess. But this is a mechanical automatic, big date complication, offset sweep, very regal, very elegant, frankly, a watch that deserves a lot more time than a minute. But you just look at the extreme, again, back to this whole dial thing, but the reason I keep coming back to the dials, frankly, is because I can. Like that word original, that's probably like a 32nd of an inch tall, and look how perfect it is.
Yeah, this is from our classic collection, and it doesn't get any more classic than this. A nice full 40mm round case. It's got the beveled, polished bezel, the offset second-hand sub-dial right there that you're looking at, the eternal sunrise where the sun, the sun ray pattern is emanating from that sub-dial. It's just beautiful. I mean, this is beautiful, and it's a mechanical automatic. I mean, that is everything that Stuhrling is all about, and any man would love to get that as a gift as well. So that's...
And I got to show you this.
That's Stuhrling, Stuhrling.
Seconds remaining. So here's the deal. This will be out for our anniversary show in February, and this is beyond cool, incidentally. You can't buy one of these now, but you will. Out of track mother of pearl, just amazing. Larry, thank you for an amazing weekend, sir.
Brilliant,
you, Tim. As always. We got to
go.
Thank you. Many more things from WSS after this.
WSS makes it easy for you to get the products you want when you want them. Most WSS products are shipped within 24 hours of receiving the order, if inventory is available, exceeding our customers' expectations. At WSS, our business is your satisfaction.
In the world of fashion, styles come and go, but a fine timepiece tells a lot about a man. And the legend of the Swiss watch is unmistakably a label of excellence and achievement. Stuhrling Original respects the art and tradition of the Swiss watchmaking legend. At Stuhrling Original, quality is never an accident. It is always the result of intelligent effort. WSS is proud to have Stuhrling Original join our family.